All right, man, we back. Marcy Sports Talk in the building. Let's talk about exactly what went wrong. Today I will be going live on what went wrong with on the whole review of the Lions-Bears game, And then tomorrow, I'm gonna drop the prediction videos on Tuesday, all right? So depending on flex games too. That might got a few flex games late in the season. But let's talk about what actually happened, what went wrong yesterday. And follow Detroit Lions Talk playlist. If you missed the immediate reaction, check out the reaction Lion playlist as well. But a number of things went wrong, all right, as we go through on the live later. You could just make a case. Everybody want to blame the game on DeAndre Swift, a rookie. Yeah, he dropped the pass, but a game never comes down to one play. There's multiple things leading up to the reason the game got there. There's a lot of things they could have done differently. There's some things they couldn't have done differently that it was what it was. Now, the secondary was decimated before we got into this game yesterday. Noah Kuda, and then you look at it, Coleman went down, Trufant went down, and it changed the complexion of the game. Miller made that play on Tony McRae, but it wasn't no plays to be made before Coleman went out. When Miller playing the slot. Allen Robinson caught his balls on, multiple guys, and he gonna catch his balls, when they in zone or man, but it's designed to take away the big play. The big play became a factor in the fourth quarter when the Matt Nagy and Trubisky figured out to attack, injured wound. And the injured wound was, Coleman in the slot. Now you see his value. Coleman in the slot did a great job on Anthony Miller all game until he went out. And all of a sudden, you hear Miller name being screamed. You see, the Jimmy Graham touchdown was the one that irked my soul the most. People say, why did it irk your soul, CJ? It irked my soul the most because they called a timeout when they seen the formation, right? They wasted the timeout, which you could have had later in the game. This was a waste of timeout. They come out in the same formation. Matt Patricia, Corey Ulan still got Tracy Walker one-on-one with Jimmy Graham on the outside. What was the point of calling a timeout if you was going to come in after the timeout with the same formation? They showed you what they was doing. They were trying to get Jimmy one-on-one with Tracy Walker. Even if they had throw another player out there to double Jimmy Graham and the Bears ran the football in, I can respect that. I can accept it. I can respect it and accept it. Because at least they made an adjustment coming out of a timeout. They came out in the same defensive formation. Walker and Graham one-on-one. Waste of timeout. So strike one right there on Matt Patricia. That was a bad timeout. That was a bad coming out the huddle play. You didn't come out in a different formation. You told them the same look. You just wasted the timeout. So that's one thing. Coleman and Trufant leaving out. It was a stat out there that when Trufant left out, Trubisky was basically on fire. So, for the Bears fans that's saying, oh, Trubisky lit up the Lions. He lit up the D team. Let's keep it 100. He lit up the D team in the secondary. When our secondary was intact, and I know it's always SOL, I get it. When our secondary was intact, he couldn't do nothing. He had a few good plays to Allen Robinson and stuff of that nature, okay. But once them dudes got cranked in, Trubisky couldn't do nothing versus our first team defense. Let's keep it 100. He couldn't do nothing. Then the Jamie Collins thing, we went not over that already. That was atrocious. Him sitting there getting that penalty was SOL. So he went out. So it was a number of things that, we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, per se, with the injuries. But Coleman shot himself in the foot. Collins. Patricia shot herself in the foot with that timeout. We could have used down the stretch. Could have changed the trajectory of the game. Matt Prater missed a long field goal. Once again, strike two on Matt Patricia. Instead of putting the ball and pinning the Trubisky down in his own end zone, we chose to kick a long kick, which, hey, at the end of the day, I can't be mad at it, but you up. You up. Why not just punt the ball and let your defense get after it? Had he made that kick, that kick was another turning point in the game. That was a huge turning point in the game. He makes that kick, all Stafford got to do is get them down there and kick a field goal. They punt it, maybe Trubisky, go 3 and out in the back of his own end zone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could, you never really know. So a lot of things went wrong before we blamed DeAndre Swift. And, we talked about Patricia saying it wasn't on him. We'll get to that live tonight. I did a video late last night on that as well. Check the Detroit Lions Talk playlist or just check the archives of the last video I did other than the Big Ten video. So a lot of things went wrong. Injuries, Collins, the timeout. I don't know how many people talking about the timeout. That was a bad timeout. The choice to kick the field goal. All that was the bad. The coaching was the ugly. The timeout, the field goal looked bad because he missed it. And then Matt Patricia not taking accountability after the game is the ugly. Saying that, it wasn't the coaching. I had one of the best fourth quarter calls in NFL history in the Super Bowl when Malcolm Butler picked it all Russell Wilson. Arrogance. But like I said, I chopped that up earlier. I did that. I chopped it up with that earlier. And I'll address it again tonight when we go live or this afternoon. The arrogance and not having accountability. How do you expect to have 53, 55 players have accountability when the head coach don't have an accountability? Some people are saying, well, the team don't respect Matt Patricia and they don't like playing for him. It's his fault. He basically put the blame on the players after the game. Then he said, we got to coach better. Oh, no, brother man, bro ham. And my Braxton voice from Jamie Foxx. It was on you. Take accountability, be a man. He's not a real man as a football coach. The players don't like him. He can't coach. It is what it is. So let's end off on the good. Well, you want to say that, the DeAndre Swift drop was ugly? You can say it was ugly. It could have won the game. I'm not mad at it. And people want to say, well, it's also ugly, the run defense early on. They still can't stop the run. Still seem to be a problem. I mean, okay, we can address that. You know what I'm saying? But one of the good things that I did see out there is that Udelin was switching it up. They wasn't just in man. They switched to man to zone. I think they sent a lot more pressure than what Patricia did. Even just a little bit, baby girl, just a little bit of my 50 Cent voice was more pressure than Patricia ever did. So they did some things. They sent some pressures. You know what? I was surprised that Tyreek Cohen didn't get off out the backfield. You know what I'm saying? That they didn't showcase him in the passing game. I think the linebackers did well, even though Jimmy Graham really wasn't no challenge as a tight end. They covered well. The running backs, I don't remember them having big catches like that. So the good thing was they switched up the defense a lot Sunday. They was playing. I was like, oh, they playing zone. They sent some pressure. Then the run defense and gap discipline is still an issue for the Lions. And also ugly or bad, whatever you want to categorize this as, there wasn't no pressure on the quarterback. Even though they tried to blitz a lot better. So they tried to send a little bit more pressure. But the good was, they switched the defense up. And also, also some bright spots out there is Quintez Cephas. He stepped up. You know what I'm saying? He stepped up and made some good ball catches, and then, Galladay wasn't out there. I think that make a huge difference. Like I said before the game, it's encouraging that they was able to move the ball when they did. Hockenson was beautiful out there. Amendola was the good out there. So imagine rolling the coverage to Kenny Galladay's side of the field. Or, they can't play Kenny Galladay. They can't play him the same way they played Quintez Cephas out there. So Galladay, they got to roll extra attention. So, that was a good thing out there. That a lot of the receivers stepped up without Galladay out there. Adrian Peterson, I apologize, Adrian Peterson. He was pretty good out there, but it's just not about. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Can Peterson continue to go out there and do that on a consistent basis as far as run the ball like that? He was beautiful out there. I got some more ugly to and bad coming. I'm just thinking as it coming to my head. But and I think the way they guarded Khalil Mack was great last night or yesterday afternoon. Khalil Mack Khalil Mack, didn't really make a lot of noise yesterday. They did a great job. They had a couple holding calls on Crosby and Hockenson, but Khalil Mack was the deal. I mean, they stopped him last night. Robert Quinn out there would have made it a little bit more difficult. So you got to get an O-line credit on, doing a great job on Khalil Mack yesterday. They did a great job. Had Robert Quinn been in there, like I was saying before, then, you had to, it would have been a different ball game, man. So with Robert Quinn not being in there, they was able to slot protection and give more attention to Khalil Mack. So on that standpoint of view, they did a really good job on those ends of the football field, man. They did a good job. The pass catcher stepped up. Hockenson stepped up. I mean, Stafford, he made another bad thing. He made the interception trying to force it to Marvin Jones, and it popped up. That was a game changer that flipped the field as well, too. Some of the other ugly things that happened was, Kerryon Johnson just showing that either he can't hit the hole or find the hole or whatever it is. But I think it's time to let Kerryon Johnson go. CJ one game, just, at the end of the day, and I got one more good thing left. I'm just thinking as I go. At the end of the day, Kerryon Johnson, I got to go back and look at it. Maybe I'm overreacting, but Adrian Peterson behind the same O-line was doing good. Maybe because Kerryon Johnson wasn't running behind a fullback from my memory. Maybe he was running single back. But Adrian Peterson was killing it. You know what I'm saying? Kerryon just looked like he just ain't got it. And maybe he need to run behind a fullback more too. I think the Lions should primarily run behind a fullback. I think that's where they're getting their most success at. But Kerryon Johnson looked terrible yesterday, man. He was one of the dudes that looked bad. He wasn't able to hit the hole. I just think he ain't the running back. I think they best serve maybe trading him or cutting him expeditiously, man. He just couldn't hit the hole. And I don't know if it's because of the knee. Maybe it was a bad game. But that dude looked old running the ball. No explosiveness. AP had more explosiveness and agility than a 23-year-old Kerryon Johnson. I think I'm giving up on Kerryon Johnson, man. I thought he'd have a big year this year. He just ain't got it, bro. I don't know if it's the knee injuries or the upright running style, but he ain't got it. Adrian Peterson is a better running back than Kerryon Johnson at 34, 35, 36 years old. But that's just the gist of it, man. Adrian Peterson looked way better than him. And I just would split the carries between Adrian Peterson and DeAndre Swift myself. And I just think that's just what it was, in my opinion. I think Kerryon is, on his way out. I think AP kind of showed him up yesterday. But the good was, I think the Lions figured out that running behind the fullback, they got the most success. So I think the fullback for the Lions is opening up the run game. I think Chicago's got a good front seven, even without Robert Quinn. But I think they figured out that the Lions have more success running behind the fullback, and I think they need a lot more of that. You know what I'm saying? That was really, really the good right there. Running behind the up back. I think they need to continue to run behind the fullback. The fullback did a tremendous job yesterday, leading through the hole. I don't know his name, but leading through the hole, sealing off the backside. And you notice when Adrian Peterson came in, he had his most success running behind the fullback. And I think that needs to be for every running back for the line. That's the key. That fullback is key. Instead of having an extra tight end out there or two tight ends out there, you know what I'm saying, or running out the shotgun, the Lions running game will be unlocked if they unlock the fullback. Unleash the fullback. Strong guy, weak guy, two fullbacks and fullback tight end, full house. They need to run behind the fullback. I think they unlock where they running game is at its best at. I think if they continue to run Kerryon, he need to run behind the fullback. They continue to run Swift, he need to run behind the fullback. And I think the fullback should lead the way. You can also put a fullback back there in shotgun in certain formations. So I really do think that's the key for them. And I think the fullback did an outstanding job yesterday. He sealed off the backside. He led the hole. That's the trick. Don't know. Look here, take it from a former football player that played a little bit. Don't no linebacker want to take on no fullback that's coming with a full head of steam. Fullbacks are designed to put you on your butt. And all the great running backs have fullbacks. OJ, LaDainian Tomlinson, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. They need to get back to basic football. They need to get back. I mean, sometimes you can complicate it too much. They bringing all these Scott Linehan in, Mike Martz in, you know, Joe Lombardi in, Jim Bob. So sometimes it's just as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. It's that simple. Sometimes, hey, if it was good enough for Vince Lombardi, Tom Landry, sometimes you just need to run a regular, basic offense. And I think they figured out that if they run behind the fullback, they're gonna have a lot more success. If they want to come out there with nickel situation, while you in I formation, strong guy, weak guy, full house, whatever it is, let them run off tackle and let that fullback put that nickel back on his booty. You know, and that's just the honest truth, man. Sometimes it's not so complex. Sometimes it's simple. It's very simple. Run behind the fullback, Kerryon, DeAndre. Establish that. You know, kind of cut back your shotgun formation. And if Darrell Bevell can't figure out that when he watched that film today, if he coming in today, that when we had our most success running behind the fullback, if it worked for AP, it's gonna work for Swift, it's gonna work for Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Let them boys run behind that damn fullback. That was the beautiful thing. But knowing the Lions organization, they're going to continue to make it complex. They're going to try to get cute and sexy and go out there with 2 tight ends. And the key is running behind the fullback. So hopefully they figured that out. But hey, appreciate everybody for checking in. Stayed on longer than I was anticipating to stay on. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business question, query, sponsorship, video requests. All my social media links are in the description. So if you ever need to reach out, have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, YouTube question, football question, basketball question, video request, you can always hit me up. Twitter's the fastest way than Facebook. I'm rarely on IG. Want to make a donation? Cash App CJ Good313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate. Share the video. One time for the one time we're done.